So the world is full of dualities, right and wrong, good and evil, chips and nachos, but trying to decipher them all in the spur of the moment can be a pain in the ass. So why not let an inanimate piece of metal with a potentially dead guy's face on it make the choice for you? Can you beat Fallout New Vegas using Coinflips? This idea was suggested by a viewer way back in the old days when I got my 20 minutes of fame, where the consequences of actions would play out accordingly to various rules, which I'm saying right now to remind myself to show that page and list of decisions I have made beforehand. In my mind, this is obviously going to be like playing as Harvey Dent from that thing with the bat guy, but according to someone else in the comments section, it's also something that guy from No Country for Old Men does. I never seen that movie, but all I can say is that the world is a nursing home and I'm filing eviction notices. First things first was to go to the saloon, where you're going to be introduced to my little flipper, since I wanted to get a feel for how this was going to be like in regards to everything being out of my hands. But at the same time, I didn't quite feel like this is the exact way to handle it, since I want to try to follow the main story as close as I can to see the different outcomes. I might rather need to try to wait until an alternative decision is presented to me so I can have actual consequences, rather than if I had sided with Goodsprings instantly, I wouldn't have been given the option to side with the Blue Man Group and go kill Ringo for the first time in almost a decade. I might only stick with this until a certain distance into the game, just for some variety's sake, but I also bought out the store and committed medical fraud, then we all went to war against the Goodsprings militia, where I was denied the poetic irony of killing Sunny with the gun she gave me, but I made damn sure I was going to be the one who kills her dog. So after settling things around here and buying some stuff for the road, I left to go towards Prim since I wanted to follow the main quest line as close as I can, rather than go straight to Vegas due to it maximizing the amount of people I meet and flip on rather than bypassing all of it. After getting to the tent of Lieutenant Hayes, I made my second flip on the run and it came up the ass end for the NCR. Somehow, using a grenade launcher indoors wasn't as detrimental to my health as I would have expected it to be, and I remembered to turn off the flipper before taking out Sergeant Magoo and then ending the skirmish with an Olympian finish. Going to Prim, I came across the convicts, and though you couldn't see it, I did flip to see if I should fight or ignore them, and it came out on the latter, so I ran inside and then met Mr. Nash, where I again forgot to display the flipper, but it came up his head, so I went to go assist the Primmigrants in their infestation problem. Starting, of course, with the outside and then moving further in, getting carpal tunnel at a bad moment when I wanted to do some precision work, which led to me noob-tubing the inhabitants instead. When left with the task of freeing Sheriff Snoopy, I took it up to a toss as well, but somehow messed that up. Ended up not killing him or being able to convince him to follow me. I probably could just make an edit of the coin tosses landing on their outcome, but I already feel like I'd violated transparency of the challenge by making the same mistake 3 times in a row, so I'm not sure how well that would play out. Assuming I don't even keep this part of the script except to fill in the dead air of killing the convicts and the rest of the hotel. With my good deed for the day done dirt cheap, while within eyesight of the shithole, I watched the world's most boring gunfight take place. While I could have flipped on helping one of them, I was kind of interested in seeing who won while the woman kept saying help me over and over again. So I confronted the winner and flipped for her consolation prize, then tried doing the same thing to Oliver Swanwick. While I was in flipping range of the Furry Brigade, I of course forgot to disable the screen so it doesn't get in the way of me immolating them alive and then placing them into the trash fire like they deserve. After taking their skin to wear for myself, I proceeded to run into the canyon where some tunnel snakes tried to take me out, but I returned the favor. Motherfucker. Though I did run up on some bears which didn't attack me, so I performed my civic duty of shooting them in the back until inadvertently starting a 2.5-way war with the traitors and Legion on either side. Blowing up the NCR did take out that issue, but it didn't stop the merchants from shooting at me either, despite telling them I was never going to give them up or ever let them down. Solved the issue in round 2, but then was confused as to why the Legion soldiers were naked, stumbled onto a prospector who lost a friendly game and forfeited his shit, got to Novac, went to get a reservation, while my reservations about how flips are handled in regards to longer quest lines are handled. I will take the mulligan for this one as well, like I did in Goodsprings, just because I wanted to see what a quest like this has in store for me based on the fact that there's so much to do with it. But this will be the last time I do this, so don't worry about it. I went up to the dinos to look for Ray Romano, but was met with Boone. Confused and thinking he was supposed to be the day sniper, I waited until this bastard interrupted that. Unfortunately, he had more luck than I did. Continued to wait, which did not get Manny to show up, so I went to his hotel room to talk about where to find Benny. So once now I had the alternative to either help him or don't, I made a flip on it, which came up baldy, so I made my way to Repconn to clear out the ghouls that's supposedly terrorizing the town, while forgetting to turn off the flipper, which is a lot more intrusive than I thought it would be when left on for that long. After meeting with the ghoul cosplayer and then Jason Bright, I flipped and it came up in favor of them, so I didn't just blast all of them, and I agreed to assist them. Same thing in the basement when coming in contact with Davison and Antler. While in the end, Harlan got the short straw, so we engaged in battle. Despite crippling my limbs fairly fast, he didn't take too many sprays to go down. I accessed his computer to get the information for Davidson, who then agreed to leave the building with his followers so Bright and his could enter, setting the stage for the great journey to begin, but of course I needed to access the library for the activation index. To do this, I went to the Oracle to consider purchasing what I need, but 500 caps seemed like a lot. But with a coin toss, I decided to cut that price down to only half an hour of my life instead, as she didn't have the launch module on her. Instead, it was inside of a hard-level safe, and she didn't have the key on her corpse either. Since using a magazine wouldn't be able to get my lockpick skill high enough either, I set out to grind out some XP quests while making good on my promise to Boxcars to free his friends from the grasp of Sizer. Since I didn't really sate my thirst for blood, I went to get the second part of the rocket so I could also make some progress on that side while still killing things. The go juice for Jimmy's rocket was pretty accessible, though the task of committing gecko genocide was a steady process. I was able to level up my lockpick enough that with a magazine, I should be able to open the average chest. However, I forgot that I was under the effects of sundown syndrome, so I had to wait and then get the module to go back to Repconn to witness the zombies, one shiny in chrome, then level it up again to take the shotgun surgeon perk before leaving to get the information from Manny Vargas about Boulder City. Set onto the road to Boulder City, which was interrupted by the Caesar Quartet, so I had to waste my time, ammo, and healing supplies on these assholes who wouldn't even take damage when I threw entire tree trunks at their heads. Took out a Viper ambush and then flipped on a prospector so I could wake him up and say hi to him. Then I found a lonesome drifter who I paid to play a different tune. Went to the memorial to decorate it some, killed the NCR troops in the area before moving past the dead to get to the lead weatherman who got selected for extermination. Leveled up lockpick and medicine, then took out his hostages. Made my way to the Grubbing Gulp, who I did not kill, and then traded supplies to run into a traveling merchant who I did kill. Got bogged down with the NCR Monsanto clone behind a brick wall, taking as many pot shots as I can until killing Roman Polanski's great-great-grandson. Flipped badly on the gunrunner, so I took out Isaac to seal the deal, but dying to the guards several times made me self-just for him in spite of wanting some more guns and armor, but I made it to Freeside. Uncle Ben bit the bullet after trying to give sound advice once again, then after flipping heads on the robots, I had to figure out a new avenue to get into Vegas proper. Went to Mick and Ralph's, and after flipping, tried to get a secret pass for the gate, but I was told I need to get in the good graces of the king after he is fortunate enough to get in the mine. Did not insta-kill Otis as I stalked him through the streets, and my shrewd deduction revealed his deception. After interrogating the witnesses, I set out to find the bastards responsible, which all fingers point towards the bear, so I had to make the first poke towards it. I destroyed their stranglehold on food distribution and got my foot in the door of New Vegas and set out to meet with Mr. House. Let me tell you now that the House absolutely did not win, especially since the NCR reset my faction rep with them, and when deciding early if I wanted to be for or against them, so I headed to the tops to call the shots on Benny and the Jets after citing the hard and fast rule of the Second Amendment. Took out the rest of the casino guards, got the platinum chip, leveled up, and picked the commando perk, then finally left and found the Inculta in training waiting for me like a weirdo, told Areola I'd mull it over after making a second flip on the side of the NCR once more to seal the deal. Got my mission from Crocker to annex the boomers into his cult, George got to keep his head and I made a bet with him. Ran through the bombing range and got to Pearl where it was bad news for her. At least it would have been if I was able to hit my shots on stationary targets rather than get forced into the bathroom where I got jumped. Killed one person and had trouble with the rest as they can casually sideblock a chainsaw blade, but cleared them all out and got some more explosives in stock, killed a Mr. Gutsy or two before fast traveling out of the Air Force Base, and I never got my money back from George. Went to go tell Crocker that the meeting with the boomers was a dud, but he was nowhere to be found. Waiting a while did nothing as he decided playing professional hooky would be up his alley. Wanted me to sell things with the Kings. Since I was already in with them, I had hoped to talk with them, but I already used up my one favor. Went to McCarran to talk to Sue to strike a deal with the Kings, but Pacer struck out and things were settled once again. After getting reassigned to Miss Moore of Morgan & Morgan's FOB at Hoover Dam to give me directions for the cocaine cookout to get to the con rally to try to get them to work with the brave patriots that aren't the Enclave. I knew I had already flipped against them in the previous life before my absolution in the blood of George Washington, but since I hadn't flipped in a while, I decided to see how I should handle this, which got a little interesting when I had to go back to Bitchface to unbefuddle my character's understanding of reality by ordering me to kill Papa Smurf, which does make sense. Regis was partial to the cons and joining with the NCR if he leads them. However, my flip was not necessarily in favor of Papa Khan, but the cons themselves, so it all works out, aside from the cavalcade of cop blocking derived from not being able to do the deed in a decisive manner. Wanted to try to buy a suppressor from the NCR lady at 188, but I was out of luck. Using a power fist didn't work out either, and right when I was about to commit to just killing all of them, I got to knock his block off by getting behind him, which succeeded my task. Regis assumed control and their new guest was escorted from his mortal coil. Was told to go deal with the Emeritus next after straightening out my spreadsheet. Flipped on heads, put on my best Karen haircut to go speak with the manager, stumbled around for a while trying to remember who the hell to talk to, though I remembered something about a whore in this quest, but I came up empty-handed. Wanted to get into a room, so I sneak attacked a goon, but like an insidious infection, the animosity of the inhabitants had begun to spread. After killing Jean-Baptiste Zorg, I reloaded a save to try to complete the mission with minimal violence. Found Caccino, who eventually set up a meet with Troy to give me some of his ghost pepper powder to destroy the arsenal in the basement, and then go up to discuss things with the manager and to bend Big Sal over the table. Escaped from this circle of hell to the next, where it was time to bring down Mr. House. I didn't flip on him because any action against him does technically kill him with no alternatives, so after walking past security, I shot him so hard his machine came loose. Second verse, same as the first, I had to go deal with the Brotherhood of Steel. After being ordered to kill them and siding with them would break my code of honor like a wet noodle, I warned the Ranger of our impending doom just before they burst in and killed us horrifically. Next time I set up precautionary precautions, then tried to take advantage of the situation with a grenade launcher but somehow annihilated myself. On the retry, me and Woody took out the Buzz Lightyear clones, killed Rainbush for his keycard, then tried to make a stand against the rest of the bunker, but after dying a few times to a guy who just rolled out of bed, prompted me to run in and try to kill the main people so I could blow up the facility. After being considerably crippled, I had taken out the Elder, before then melting Hardin, who did not have a card like I expected, went to war with the Science Club, ran around trying to figure out why I couldn't activate the self-destruct, but I figured it out and then made it to safety with just enough health to spare. Except for when four of them tell me it's nothing personnel and then lock me into this bullshit again just like what happened in the Pew Pew playthrough, which you should totally go watch by now if you haven't so I could get more views. Don't forget to comment and subscribe. Eventually I got far enough away that I could fast travel, though I forgot I killed Dr. Mitchell so I kicked Chet while he slept so he could have my back, as in holding it in for me so it doesn't fall out while I get some stim packs to fix it, but then I decided I should make a detour to the medical Mohawk for a full checkup. Returned to the dam just in time for the president to wish Private Jensen a happy birthday, but the Legion in the area were sneaking around to blow out the candles on his cake so his patriotic wish of a better future for the NCR wouldn't come true. But of course this is a game with an engine held together by Elmer's glue and dental floss, so a weird issue pops up, where Sergeant Johnson is supposed to give me the opportunity to start the mission, but I can only tell him what I want to tell everyone else in my day-to-day, like some sort of weird monkey's paw situation. Tried reloading a few saves, didn't work. Tried shooting him and it didn't do much. Tried going to a different area to do a different mission to give him some time to sort himself out. Didn't work. Closed the game and reopened it. Didn't work. Exploded his heart and utilized the power of necromancy, which worked for a moment, but I backed out of the dialogue and the brain damage must have set in as he now thinks the president is dead. Tried it a few more times and eventually, after waiting for him to stretch his legs, was finally able to participate in an assassination like I've always wanted. The lady said she was busy. President landed. That sniper is a spy. That engineer is a spy. The president is safe, and after some necessary preparation, it was time for the end to begin. After talking to General Oliver, I went to start the party and immediately began to wonder if this Battle of the Dam was actually more painful to my mental health than being on the Legion's side. The toughest nail Centurions put me on the back foot, but with my recent investment into the finesse skill, it seems to have mitigated the issue of their armor. I placed a high value on 308 ammo, so I made sure to loot the bodies for that and healing supplies so I don't burn through my own, and getting backed into a corner because they spawned when I crossed a certain threshold was enough to almost kill me. Though I did die after the shotgun had failed me for the last time, and the grenade launcher made good work of spawn camping the jackasses while I worked my way through the dam. Though it wouldn't last me very long as my ammo supply was low, and using it indoors provides several problems I was not ready to face. Mainly lowering my NCR rep if and when I accidentally emulsify a few troops. Got sent to a previous checkpoint because I got quick drawed and killed them all the second time. Spent too much time trying to fart around with trying to make a Roman smoothie inside the turbines and then go outside where I tipped at the phone a friend, when it turns out that friendly fire is a good way to get put on someone's block list. Got startled by the cons. Sadly didn't remember that I said I need to be on good terms with that faction I repped by the end of the game until the last bridge. Tentatively, I reloaded a save to before the battle to try to get a little extra XP to push me over into Idolize, getting told I'm not good enough for the Sniper Club and then interrupted at a really bad moment by a Legion hit squad, which I had to protect the asshole from dying so I could do his quest. Once that was done, I made my way up the hill to sneak attack one of the soldiers, and then after failing to sneak attack a second one, I melted him with objectively the best melee weapon in the game, and proceeded to snipe everything in the area without being detected so I could free the troopers on the crosses, killing the Legion indoors, and then completing this quest. Tried to do another one nearby, but I got ambushed by another hit squad, and even after killing them, I was instantly burned out, and I hoped I might get rep after the battle, so I went to the Mormon fort to creepily stand over a sleeping woman after buying medical supplies, more bullets than I'll ever need, and then went back to the second battle of Hoover Dam. With the 50 cal pistol and spawn camping once again, it was a much less painful experience to kill the Legion enemies in the dam, though out of some weird sense of hoarding ammo and medical supplies, which was likely developed over several playthroughs where at the end of the battle I ran out of ammo or weapon repair kits and did not want to replicate that scenario again. I didn't go through the underbelly this time, and it didn't really seem to actually be any harder or easier, but not being able to shoot for fear of losing reputation with the NCR did make some fights take longer to deal with, while the repeating environment and looting was a bit mind-numbing. Though I did find this bucket that went warp 10 and was everything everywhere all at once. Got through the final room, didn't expect reinforcements to show up in the same hallway as the bad guys. Sniped alongside my army, the game went stupid when I tried the VATS, got to the final bridge again and attempted to tantalize some of my troops to follow me instead of square dancing on the corpses of their foes. Two followed me to the gate, but none came in with me as I sniped to avoid using all my doctor bags. Opened up a door to oblivion as I played fetch with the Legion bitches. Tried scoping out the area when an absolute Chad walked in to assist me. I saved, sprayed a sniper off in the distance, and with the stealth boy active, I engaged battle with the Legates. I don't remember why I wasn't moving at the start of the fight, but I did move away, though I couldn't protect my boy from getting swarmed as I killed the Legate, but ended up dying as well. The Sky Guy's sinuses cleared up for the moment, which makes the place look better personally. Pulled off a noob combo after sniping and carpet bombing the Legate's forces, even as they tried to run, and so I put my own safety to the wayside to take him out, then did the same thing to my buddy's safety to save him. We tore apart those at the gate and then pulled a trinity on the last man in my man's face, and all we had to do was get to the exit, but it was too late. The sniper had done its job and took away the one friend I had in this forsaken place. This was personal. I took little damage as I tried to take him out, but he ran away from me after I disarmed him. I took the ranger's rifle and found the bastard trying to hide from me, thinking he was in the presence of a man with forgiveness in his heart, and so he died where the cows would shit on his body. I walked the lonely road to the finish line, General Oliver sang my praises, and I sang mine to the unnamed ranger who aided me, and I still probably failed on a technicality beat Fallout New Vegas using Coinflips. Thank you so much for watching this video, and as always I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, then please let me know in the comments and like the video. If you didn't like it, then please do the same things. Personal thanks to my longtime viewers for sticking with me on this journey, and I hope all of you have a good one. Harshin out. Went to McCarran to talk to Went to McCarran to talk to Went to McCarran to talk to Sue about. Went to McCarran to talk to Sue.